I am not that in tune with my body.
In the wintertime, everybody's depressed as hell, overdosing on their serotonin.
I think he has undiagnosed ADHD. Anyway, continue.
Am I allowed to say that?
We all gathered together, played a bunch of drinking games, frat broed out.
I only have one liver, right? Wait.
I feel like this whole conversation is just going to make me sound like an alcoholic. Why are we talking about this?
And that's on genetic.
I'm the least flexible person on the planet. Was. Now it's you.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Am I about to expose myself? What if I'm the only one who's ever experienced this? Did you take a single sip of your drink the whole time?
Gone.
Whoa! You're such a baller. All right. I think we should start off with a cheers. Oh, it looks fine. No, wait, you just lifted this one up. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is so full. I'm going to spill it.
Hey guys, welcome back to Life Lately.
It's been a minute, and I'm forcing AJ to drink alcohol today.
Oh.
After his 2 days of sobriety.
Oh man, that's my longest streak.
Yeah, I wanted to do a little bar date. We call these like our at-home bar dates. We make drinks at home, revolutionary, and then we like sit at the counter and drink them and chat like we would at a bar. And I feel like good conversations always come out, so that's why I'm trying to mimic that for episode 10.
Oh my god.
Episode 10.
Yeah, so Rachel didn't have anything planned. She was just like, let's go have a drink, sit down, chat about life.
Because I figured conversations would come up, you know?
Yeah.
That's what the alcohol
And they
does.
will. I came up with a couple of topics that I wanted to just like touch on while we're here. What's up?
Nothing.
What are you looking at? What happened? Is my hair crazy?
Continue.
I'm weirded out. What are you looking at? What? What is that? Oh, shoot.
It's fine. Anyway,
You
continue.
just noticed it?
Yeah, I forgot.
All right.
Actually,
Oh,
hold
what's
on.
up?
I'm really hot, so I'm going to take this off. I feel like my temperature keeps fluctuating like crazy today.
So today, as we were making drinks and stuff, I was just thinking, what are some things I wanted to talk about today on Life Lately after a pretty long hiatus because you were traveling.
Yeah. Well, we had family in town
right.
for a week, and then I left town less than a week later. So we kind of took a little break from the 2 times a week uploading was too much to keep up with all that. So took a break from the podcast.
Yep. So, well, now we're back, and we're going to try to get ahead, right, on our podcasts. But one of the things I want to talk about is Life Lately, since we haven't talked about it in like 4 weeks, right?
Yeah. It's been a minute.
What's new?
Well, what is new? Is anything new?
So I'm another year older, officially.
Oh, yeah. Your
turned 23.
birthday, which we're not allowed to say when that was.
Redacted.
Yeah. He's old now. He's 23. There's a 4-month gap between our birthdays.
I know your birthday?
I don't know.
You can't even tell. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
There's a 4-month-ish gap between our birthdays. I am 4 months older, and I do it. I'm like dramatic about it on purpose, but also it low-key bothers me. I hate that gap of 4 months where I'm older than you.
Right.
And it always seems to drag because I'm just like waiting for you to finally age up with me. It's going to be rough when we hit the big numbers. Like, oh, you missed. Like 30 and 40. Like it's going to be so miserable being in a different decade than you for 4 months. Anyway, this one was only 22 to 23, so not too bad. But it did drag.
I will say that the 4 months in between yours and my birthday is a lot longer than the 8 months between my and your birthday. I don't know why, but like
something about it.
Something about those months just fly by.
Yeah, it's really annoying, honestly.
Yeah, so then I guess so my birthday happened.
Well, okay, so how do you feel now that you're 23? Any different?
No, I think with aging you always just like feel the same as the day yesterday, but you are incrementally changing every day slightly, like ever so slightly. So then when you look back after many, many days, years even, then you finally realize like, oh, I have grown up. But 23 doesn't really mean anything more to me than 22. It does sound a little older. Like I kind of felt a little self-conscious when I tell, people that we meet in Portland, oh, I'm 22, because that's like the fresh out of college age.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
Like there are 22-year-olds in college.
yes.
Yeah.
So 23, I feel like holds a little more weight when I throw it around.
Wait, you're such a baller. There are 22-year-olds in college and you got a master's in that time. I know we've been over this, but I'm just like putting it together with the age thing. Sorry, continue.
I mean, a lot of people who are good at time management
you're
are able
being
to do
humble.
that. Okay.
Whatever.
You're so sweet.
Yeah,
You're so
I
sweet.
know.
I'd say my cousins told me that there's this thing called Pacific Northwest thaw, right? When people, or no, it's called the PNW freeze. That's kind of like this. You don't say hello to people when you're passing on the street. You kind of exist in the same space without really interacting. And that's primarily in the wintertime. In the wintertime, everybody's depressed as hell. Everybody is like overdosing on their serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Right?
Yeah, that's
But
valid.
then now it's springtime, and am I allowed to say that?
Yes, you're allowed to say it's spring.
So my cousins also told me about the thaw, where everybody
The thaw.
the thaw. Everybody becomes a little more friendly. Life is happening. People are in the streets. There's more smiles going around, and I'm kind of feeling that with our social life
I was
too.
going to ask, I was like, do you feel like that's happening?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say so. The first couple months we were here, in the winter, in the late fall and winter, we were definitely frozen. We didn't do anything.
But we were also like new, didn't
Yeah.
know a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. But we
Finding
really
our
did not make
ground.
any effort, I'd say.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Like it was
No,
we were
not at all.
complete homebodies. We had our own hobbies, or we have our couple hobbies, so we were just pouring time into that during the winter. But
Lots
now,
of wingspan.
yes, Wingspan, Diablo 3, Stardew Valley for a little bit.
Yeah.
Put a lot of hours in that.
Yeah.
But I think our social life has bloomed in a way as the spring came around.
What a sweet metaphor.
Yeah. So in February, very grateful. We have some friend. I have a friend at work that like invited us to this party, like Valentine's Day party, and we hadn't like spoken in a couple months, just because I don't know, that's just life and stuff.
Yeah.
But then he was like, "Yeah, we should hang out," and so we've been hanging out consistently with these guys. We have a little trivia group, so super fun. Like I always look forward to that. Trivia Wednesdays, it just totally breaks up the week, and it's just nice to
Wait, you
chat
just
with these
revealed
guys.
that we do trivia on Wednesdays.
Trivia redacted. So yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling uplifted by that.
Yeah. So those two, well, his work friend and his fiance were the only people we knew here in Portland coming here. But then they've been here for almost a year now. So they kind of like had a group established. So we've kind of just like morphed into that group, which has been a nice like stepping stone for meeting other people and making more friends. So
Oh, we're totally gonna steal their friends.
oh yeah, that's the goal.
We're going to-
steal them and then push them out. Like we're the new them. And the plan is coming along swimmingly. But we actually went to our second party with these people this past weekend.
Yeah, it was so fun.
We threw a frat party and we all dressed up as frat boys and had our different fratzonas, which all had their own names. And then we all gathered together, played a bunch of drinking games, frat broed out. It was fun. It was our first time day drinking in a while.
It felt like a frat party because we started at 3, and
Yeah.
I was like feeling really crappy by 6.
Yeah.
And I got home and I was hungover the rest of the night.
Oh, yeah. That's what we were talking about. We were like, dang, day drinking is kind of crazy because then you're not that you sleep off the hangover, but like you go to sleep when it's getting really bad and then you're just miserable the next day. But this was like you're coming down from the drunkenness and the hangover is coming up and you still have like 3 hours until bed. And then you go to bed and you wake up still feeling hungover. So it's kind of rough. I don't know if I would do that very often.
We'll be doing that a lot in the summer, I bet. Well, that's like a nice segue into another topic I wanted to talk about was just like alcohol in general. Like our relationship with alcohol, America's relationship with alcohol. Give me a self-evaluation. What do you think?
On my relationship with
Or
alcohol?
do you want me to go first?
I want you to go first because I don't know what you're going to say and I'm stressed.
I think.
Wait, can we preface this?
Go
But
ahead.
I think he has undiagnosed ADHD. Anyway, continue.
What does that have to do?
Because this is just, I suspect this is just another fixation that you'll move on from in a few weeks. But continue.
So recently I was taking inventory of like how often I personally drink alcohol, and I probably do it 2 to 3 times a week, maybe even 4.
It depends on the week too.
And by 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 times a week, I mean like 1 or 2 drinks.
Yeah, you're not going hard that much.
Yes. But that justification's a little insidious, because it's like if I put those all in like one day, that'd be pretty bad, right? 8 drinks. But instead I'm spreading them out over a week.
Well, no
So it
one said
doesn't
it's
seem as
healthy.
bad. Yeah, I know it. So I'm just wondering if any of you followers care to chime in. Is that in line with your experience as a young or older adult, like 3 to 4 times a week drinking alcohol?
I think at our age, that's not that crazy. I feel like, especially if you're like still in college, that's kind of the norm.
Yeah.
But I also think, like, you just said that this was insidious, but I do think that... Why are you jumping on me, Suki? I do think that the fact that you're only having like 1 or 2 most days that you do drink shows that you're not like going crazy all the time. Yeah.
Alcoholic.
Also, I think like alcoholism, is this a sensitive topic? Should we be careful about this? Probably. Just like, I think it would be a little bit silly of you to think that you might be on the path to alcoholism, if that's where this conversation is going. Okay. Because I think that is much more serious than this, but
I'm thinking of the amount of standard drinks I'm consuming per week, and like that, I mean, that takes a toll on your liver and your circadian rhythm. Like, I definitely feel on the weekdays, like maybe, I don't know, like today, I'm having 1 drink. I'm probably gonna feel it tomorrow morning. Like, I'm gonna feel a little more tired than I usually feel.
that's crazy. I am not that in tune with my body. But also, I just never get good sleep, drinks or not, so.
You also sleep till like 9:30 every day, which is a luxury.
That's because you forgot to wake me up.
What time was I supposed to wake you up?
I don't know, the usual. No, but even when I didn't sleep till late, when I did have a full-time job, I still... Where are we going with this? Okay,
I don't know.
Here's my take.
Okay, go ahead. Think we're okay?
Yeah, I think we're fine. I have heard the joke of like, when you feel like you need alcohol to like be not yourself, but you know how like whenever we go to a party, I'm always stressing about there being alcohol there that I like, so that I can drink alcohol and become more sociable. But I feel like that's just an introvert thing. It's the same way that like you will not catch me on the dance floor unless I'm drunk. Like, it's just, you let down your guard a bit. You don't care anymore. And I think some people have a problem with that, but I think personally that it is just, if you can control yourself, it's not a big deal. Personally.
Okay.
It's not like why are you licking me? It's not like I'm drinking all the time because I can't be myself without alcohol, It's just like when I'm in a very overwhelming social situation where there's a lot of people I don't know, or just a lot of people in general.
Crutch. It's a crutch.
Okay, well, I would argue that it is a valuable crutch if you're an introvert, as long as you can do it healthily. I feel like this whole conversation is just going to make me sound like an alcoholic. Why are we talking about this?
Because I wanted to expose you. This episode, we're exposing Rachel's problem.
It's only a problem if you like genuinely can't control yourself, and also it starts to affect like your relationships with other people. That's when it's a problem.
Okay, so you're putting a little goalpost.
What do you mean?
You're putting a gate. You're like, all right, I'm not until I get past this point.
I think so.
I think it's a spectrum, like all things. I don't think it's black and white. I think it's like
that too.
if you're not careful, you can think that that's all you're doing, but then you look back and you're way past the goal line. Anywho, I also think that
Girl.
So we were talking to
She's licking my sweaty armpit.
we were talking to someone, and someone was saying that alcohol is a macro, but it's not a useful nutrient.
Oh yeah, who was saying that?
Well, Sebastian or something. I don't know.
I don't remember.
So, like a carbohydrate, a protein, or a fat, there's also an alcohol which does not get metabolized into anything useful. It just like it's calories. I think it goes just like straight through your body, or just straight fat.
I have no idea. Guys, I know you didn't click on this for a science lesson, but apparently that's what we're getting.
Anyway, alcohol, aside from the way it affects your life and your personality, it also affects your health, I think. And I don't think it's a bad thing to say, I want to bring my alcohol consumption a little bit down to...
I didn't say it was a bad thing.
Okay. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing either.
Oh,
that's what I said.
okay, so we're agreeing.
Yeah. So I think like, what was I saying?
Wait, so is all this you're trying to say that you personally are going to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hi, dog.
I personally am going to try to be more conscious about how often and how much alcohol I'm consuming for my health. Yeah, mainly for my health, because I only have one liver, right? Wait.
Yes.
Two kidneys, one liver.
Yes, you only have one liver. Oh my gosh.
And you gotta use this liver for the rest of your life.
I think that between, wait, what? No, not between. I think that pre-21-year-old Rachel, who didn't drink alcohol, she took enough Advil and Excedrin for all her headaches. It's over anyway. Right, Suki?
That's sad.
I'm kidding, but also not really, because my headaches have gotten better as I've gotten older, so I actually don't take that stuff nearly as often as I used to. But in high school, I was popping that shit like it was candy.
Wow.
Because I was getting headaches all the time. But
And that's on genetics.
yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. But yeah, I think I don't have to worry about the alcohol. I have to worry about the Advil. That's my
All
concern.
the caffeine.
Oh yeah, I do drink a lot of caffeine too. Wait, how bad is caffeine really though? I'm not crazy.
It's like,
there are people who literally drink like 400 milligrams a day.
are you that far off?
Yes.
Because 2 espresso shots, how much is that?
I don't know.
Let's look it up.
Hey Siri, how much caffeine is in 2 espresso shots? Oh, 120 to 160 milligrams of caffeine. That's nothing.
Is that for one or?
No, it said for both.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I thought, because I have heard like the people who do hit like 400 milligrams, which I think I heard once is like the maximum that a healthy person should be drinking, but also that's kind of pushing
Probably
it. But
like once
also,
a month.
someone fact check me on that. That's like a lot. That's like multiple energy drinks. And I'm not like that. I drink 1 latte a day.
Yeah. So I guess my grander point is, and you've noticed this probably this week because I said it, I was like, I don't want another latte. I'm going to cut the sugar out of it, because that syrup and the caramel is like a little bit a day, but that a little bit a day, it adds up. So I'm like,
but also
I'm trying to like eat and be a healthier person, treat my body like a temple. You know? High protein. So for lunch, I've switched from, I don't know. I'm just
as of like 2 days ago. See, this is what I'm talking about. This may just be another ADHD phase. Undiagnosed. Continue.
I'll explain my diet first, and then I'll explain why this might just be a phase. So I noticed that I was like eating salami sandwiches, which I thought was fine. You know, it's bread, meat, cheese, mustard. But every time after I'd eat that sandwich, my stomach would be like a little upset, like churning, you know, like kind of a little sour. So this last week I switched to eating chili for lunch instead of bologna.
This last week, my love, it's Monday.
No, but I ate it last week. I ate chili all last week.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And what does my chili include? It's just
Suki.
beans.
What's wrong with you?
Last week it had some ham in it. It's all beans and tomatoes. So it's like.
See, to me, it sounds like the beans would upset your stomach, because isn't that the whole thing that they like make you fart?
I haven't noticed that.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see.
Suki might have noticed that.
That is very responsible of you, though, to pay attention to your body. I feel like I finally decided to try to do that recently too. Remember when I had those 2 scoops of ice cream and then I was unwell after, and I was like, oh, maybe that's a little bit too much for me. Here's my thing. I'm not, whoa, did it get really bright?
Sun just, oh, that's fine.
The
That's fine.
sun just came out. It's supposed to adjust. Is it adjusting? I'm blind. I can't tell. You have your glasses on. How's it look? Is it too bright?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. If it looks horrible, it's AJ's fault because he's saying it's okay. Anyway, yeah, so here's my thing with dairy. I'm not, from what I know, lactose intolerant. I know my mom has a slight allergy to dairy, not lactose intolerant. She has an allergy to dairy, which is interesting. No, not dairy, milk, sorry, which is interesting. But I don't know that I have that. I've never been allergy tested. But if I think the trend I've noticed is just like, I can't have too much. Like, I don't have a stomach of steel. I can't just like eat as much dairy as I want and be fine. I have noticed like sometimes my stomach will be upset when I've had a lot of dairy, like more than usual. Suki, oh my gosh. I'm getting a bath over here. So yeah, there was one time where we were just eating a lot of cheese and stuff. And I noticed by the end of the week that my stomach was not okay. And then more recently, I got 2 scoops of a full dairy-filled ice cream. And when I say 2 scoops, I mean like a giant mountain because they give you so much there. And then after I was unwell. And so then after that, I decided to just like start being more responsible when I noticed things like that. So then the next time we went, I got one of their dairy-free ice creams. And then more recently, I've been getting 1 scoop instead of 2 when I get the dairy ice cream. And it seems to have been fine so far.
Good.
But yeah.
Look at you being conscious.
Isn't that an interesting thing to pay attention to?
Yeah.
After 23 years.
Well, it may have developed somewhat recently. You don't know.
I mean, not 23 whole years because I did start drinking oat milk within the past few years too.
Yeah.
In my lattes and stuff. But yeah, it's just, I can't really find the trend. I think it's just when I have a lot of it in a period of time. But
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you'll never know exactly what that threshold is.
Yeah, I just have to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, play it safe. So I guess in summary, we're becoming a little more conscious of our bodies, I guess.
I think you more so than me. I have a ways to go. Here's my issue with eating healthy. I always want to, and like there are things that are healthy that I actually genuinely love, like a Caesar salad. But then, well, okay, this can be avoided by just like not leaving the house when I'm hungry. But if I'm like, I'm going to have Caesar salad for dinner, totally fine with that. I like Caesar salad. But then I go outside when I'm hungry and I haven't eaten yet, and I smell all these restaurants that are cooking up some delicious food that is not good for you. And then suddenly I'm like, I do not want Caesar salad. I don't normally act on that. I have impulse control, but it like makes the Caesar salad like less appealing. So I have to just never leave the house when I'm hungry.
That's actually good advice. You ever
Honestly,
heard the thing,
like don't go grocery shopping
when you're hungry?
Yeah.
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 It just sucks living in Portland where there's so much good
No,
smelling
literally,
food
like
everywhere.
you smell it everywhere you walk. It's honestly really rough.
Outside of on our balcony, like
Yes,
there's
you can
just
smell it.
wafts of tacos and quesadillas, like floating
And that's the
up.
thing
It's
too
so
is
good.
it's not hard to get. You walk downstairs, you walk a block, and you're at a delicious restaurant. It's not like you got to go drive somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's very honestly, if we were rich, it would be an issue. But because we're not, and I can't just like eat out whenever I want, it like actually helps me control my impulses. I think if we had all the money in the world and I could eat out whenever I wanted, that actually might be dangerous for my health.
I really don't think that's even a rich thing. That's just like a financially conscious budgeting thing.
I mean, yes, but also like if you're super rich, you can afford to eat out a lot more frequently than like someone who's not super rich.
Sure.
So your budget could allow that.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. But luckily
I'm just
for
saying,
me,
even
we're
if you're
not
broke,
rich.
even if you're broke, you put that on a credit card. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Put it on a credit
Well,
card.
I don't think you should do that.
I agree. I don't think you should do that. I'm clowning on them.
All right.
Wow, we look like angelic over there.
My
You wanna
love,
fix
is it bad? You said it was fine. I don't have glasses on. I can't ever tell.
Suki, do you look like an angel? Is it bad?
Oh my gosh, that's awful. Why did you say that? Guys, I'm so sorry. It wasn't me. This was him. Oh my gosh, that was like literally you couldn't see us. Anyway.
Sorry.
Ridiculous. Can you tell who didn't get the major in film?
Welcome back. We just came back from our
brief excursion to heaven. How was it? It was pretty magical.
Yeah, we saw a lot of angels and stairs. You ever notice that, this has been said before, there's a stairway to heaven, but there's a highway to hell. Kind of tells you about the quantity of traffic. Quantity of traffic's going each direction. You need an entire highway.
Oh, I thought you meant like it's a lot easier to just drive down the highway than walk up a bunch of stairs.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, like, what's the foot traffic, like the quantity of people.
But what about like the stairs going up the Statue of Liberty? Like, there's a lot of traffic there. I think it just depends on the staircase.
Okay.
I think what I said makes more sense.
It's true.
If you had to climb to the top of the Empire State Building by stairs to get to heaven, not everyone would do it. Not everyone would make it.
Well, while we're on the topic of like understanding your body, listening to your body,
are we going to talk about your fitness journey?
Yes. Well, it's been like less than a month, but it's crazy. So we were looking for apartments out here in Portland, and one of the things on our must-have list was a gym.
Yeah, go watch my apartment hunting video.
And we found one with the gym, so I was like, yes. We moved in here, and after like the first month, I was not going to our gym. Which is so fun. Either. It's on a different floor, so all I have to do is throw on some gym clothes and get over there. I think the problem is mentally preparing myself to leave the house for a while, to get over there and go work out and spend 45 minutes away.
Yeah, it's like you would think that because it's in your building, it wouldn't feel like you're leaving to go to the gym. Oh my God, now it's getting dark.
Oh, wow. Switching up the angles.
Anyway, yeah, you would think that the gym literally being in your apartment building would help with that, and you wouldn't feel like you're having to leave your home to go to the gym, but you still do. Yeah. It still feels like you're leaving, and then also like it's still a public space, so you're always, well, if you're like me, you're always stressing about someone coming in while you're working out, bro.
And being awkward. That's fine.
All right.
Okay, so continue.
Yeah, that was all. Like, I think unless the gym is literally an at-home gym in your own home, like in another room, you're gonna feel like you're having to like leave and get ready to go somewhere.
Yep. I also think that the gym that we settled on, like here in this apartment, is not very good. Mm-hmm. The dumbbells only go up to 25 pounds, so you're not really going to be able to do that much strength building. There's no real pull-up bar. It's just like...
There's also like one treadmill.
One treadmill. It's kind of lackluster. It's very small. It's like smaller than our apartment.
I think you'd be more likely to use it if it was one of those other really fancy ones at one of the other apartments we toured. I think then you'd be more inclined to use it. I'm sure there's still days where you'd get lazy, but like when it has really good equipment, sometimes, or I think that would motivate you more.
Yeah, agreed. So equipment was a huge factor in me stopping going to the gym like for months. Like, so I think I consistently worked out like 3 times a week for 1 week in November. And then it kind of dwindled to 2 and then to 1, and then it completely fell off the face of the earth, especially entering wintertime. I don't know why. I was just like went into hibernation mode. But then in April, as the spring is coming, I ordered a pull-up bar to go on the balcony because I was like, there's no excuse for me to not be active. I'm very fortunate to have a job where I can work from home. So like if I'm here and I'm not commuting, I have time to go to the gym, and I'm doing myself a disservice if I don't exercise and try to stay a little fit. I noticed myself putting on some weight, and I was like, I gotta make a change to this. This sedentary. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My cousins are gonna make fun of me again.
What? They made fun of you for pronouncing
Dana,
it
yeah,
like that?
Dana, if you're watching this, shut up. I lost my train.
Sedentary lifestyle.
Yes, sedentary lifestyle. It's killing me. It's killing me slowly, and that's how it starts. You start adding just like a pound of fat a month, and suddenly you're, like the average American, a little on the overweight side. So I'm trying to keep that at bay. It's hard. But got a pull-up bar, so now it's on the balcony. I have no excuse. I don't even have to get ready, get dressed to go to my gym. I pull up outside, start doing some pull-ups, doing some dips. Rachel got me some dumbbells with plate weights, so that's been awesome. So I can actually like do some curls, do some rows. I sometimes take off the weights off the dumbbells and I like attach them to my belt so that I can do weighted pull-ups and weighted dips. So like I've got the whole setup now.
On a budget too.
Yeah, on a budget. Probably total, well, I don't know how much you spent on the dumbbells, but
Yeah, and you're not going to know because of the gift.
Never mind. But yeah, now we have this at-home gym outside on the balcony. See how long it lasts, because I got like the cheapest pull-up bar and it's kind of flimsy. I'm kind of like a little afraid I'm going to fall off the balcony when I do pull-ups.
Well, that's good.
But I have been very consistent since I got it, which was about a month, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was right before your birthday. It was like the week before.
Yeah.
So almost a month.
So I've been doing good. I think it takes about a month to really cement a habit. To make yourself feel guilty enough that you need to go work out again. You know, if you're thinking about skipping a month, breaking a month streak kind of feels bad. So it makes you want to get out again.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my little attempt at staying fit despite a 9-to-5 job where I'm mainly just sitting down all day.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
I think a standing desk with a walking pad would be really nice.
Yeah, walking, like a treadmill or something, or like literally
just like a walking pad. Yeah. I mean, it does the same thing.
But don't you have to like kind of push against something?
No. Well, they make like, yeah, there's ones like that that are super cheap, but like they make like walking pads that actually turn on and move like a treadmill, but they're just way tinier and cheaper, which is great.
That would be awesome if you just do that all day for like 8 hours.
Yeah, because really the only reason a treadmill is so massive and expensive is because it's like it can do the incline, or you can run on it, and obviously you don't want to run without the handles and stuff. But if it's just a walking pad and all you're doing is walking at your desk, you don't need all that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe if we get a bigger space, move into a bigger space.
You could get one of those standing desk things that goes on top of your normal desk.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like converts it basically. Honestly, that would be a good investment. You might be able to find one on Facebook. You can find everything on Facebook Marketplace. You just have to be patient. That's what I've learned. You have to look for weeks before you actually need it. Like, you can't look the week of. You're never going to find it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to contribute to that little workout thing and all? You've been doing a lot of stretches, right?
Yeah, I have stretches I've been doing because I'm the least flexible person on the planet. Was. Now it's you.
Oh,
just kidding.
God. That's so true, though.
I was the least flexible person on the planet, but not anymore. So I've been doing my stretches every day. But yeah, I don't know. I have not actually worked out consistently and longer than I care to admit, honestly.
I was playing Frisbee with some of the friends that I was talking about earlier in the podcast. And we don't really play Frisbee all that often, but we just decided one Sunday, let's go play some Frisbee. And I will tell you, the next day I was sore because I never run or sprint like I do. Like when you get to the stage in your life, you hardly ever do that on a normal day unless you make time for those physical activities. It's like when you're a kid, you're always running around with your friends, at school, recess or whatever. But or doing sports for school. But you really have to be intentional with your time, with your physical activity time, your cardio time when you're becoming an adult.
Yeah. Well, that's like, am I about to expose myself? What if I'm the only one who's ever experienced this? On Saturday, when we went to that frat party, I dressed up as a like country frat bro. And so I wore cowgirl boots, which
as the frat boys do. They wear cowboy boots, right?
Yeah. Cowboy?
Cowgirl boots.
Oh, you said boy.
Oh.
They do wear cowboy boots. I wore cowgirl boots.
With a heel.
Well, don't the men's have... no, mine's probably more of a heel than the men's. Anyway, so they have like the tiniest heel, like literally not even 2 inches. Maybe 1 inch, like the tiniest heel. But I never wear heels. I don't like them, so I never wear them. And we were standing this entire party. We were there for like 5 hours, and I hardly sat down at all, like maybe to go pee, but that's it. And so I was standing. It's kind of like when you're like, it's kind of like a Barbie doll. Like I was standing on my tippy toes for, well, not tippy. That's a little dramatic. On my tip-ish toes for like 5 hours straight, which you don't think much of. But then the next day, okay, let me say I was not sore, But I was like, I started stretching my calf and I could feel that it was like a little worked. And I was like, why are my calves a little sore? And then I realized it's because you don't stand like that or I don't, because I never wear heels. So I like never stand like that for so many hours at a time. So it was almost like doing a very, very minor calf exercise for 5 hours straight. And I was like, dang, this is intense. Does anyone else experience that, or is that just me? Am I exposing myself? Am I weak?
Heels is a workout.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially if you never do it and you wear them for 5 hours straight without sitting down. That's pretty intense.
Yep. I think just standing up for 5 hours straight is pretty tough.
True. That too. So that's all you had to say. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think that was a nice catch up. Gosh. A nice catch up on our life lately.
Yeah. Well, let me throw in one thing completely unrelated, but also slightly related. Speaking of health, I just have to tell you this. So, as you know, I have been going down a rabbit hole of watching videos, like commentary videos on crazy people on the internet, most of whom are influencers, but some are like not, like barely, like only have, I mean, much more than I have, but still, like in the grand scheme of things, not a lot of followers, like 100K or something. Anyway, I have been going down a rabbit hole of watching people commentate on these types of people and the content that they are putting out that they think is normal. And I watched one today that's related to health, and I just had to tell you, it's actually quite horrible. But it's also like, it's crazy to think that someone...
Get on with it, woman. Get on with it.
Okay. So there's this woman who the only reason she has a following and it can be like an influencer is because she posts content about her kids, as many moms do, that everyone is invested in. She's one of those people where without her kids, she would have no content. But what makes it even worse is she like capitalizes on their medical issues, because one of them has cerebral palsy, and so he has a lot of medical issues come up that they have to like go see like special surgeons for and stuff. And she posts videos about all this stuff, and like all of her YouTube content is like surprise surgery that made us have a hell week, and like the thumbnail is like of her son, and then her like, you know, and then there's like the son, I forget the son's name, we'll call him Michael, I don't remember what his name was, but it was like Michael's horrible accident falling down the stairs.
Oh my god.
And then it's like Michael's intense nose surgery, or like, oh, there's one that's like, we had to make a very difficult decision on his surgery or whatever. And then like she rambles on and on for like 20 minutes in the video until the very end, where she reveals that they're not actually getting him surgery because he doesn't need it.
It's clickbait.
Yeah. So it's very clickbaity, but it's also like, it is very clickbait a lot of the time because she dramatizes things so that people will click. But also it is still her son's health that she's monetizing, and it is so awful. Like, and she, oh my gosh. So yeah, the one of him falling down the stairs was actually a thing because he's like, he has limited movement and mobility because of his disease. And so he has a wheelchair that they give him like a certain amount of hours per day in, which apparently is standard. That's not crazy, apparently. But he like fell down the stairs on this, which is not his fault. Why aren't you monitoring him when he's in his wheelchair? But anyway, he fell down the stairs and then like banged up his nose and had to go see a doctor, and there was talk of him getting surgery, but I guess it never happened. He ended up not needing it, which is great. But she was like filming him with this swollen bloody nose, and then every single day she was making like an update video, like, here's how he looks today, pointing the camera in this, and he's like small, like he's a toddler or maybe a few years older, I don't know. But I'm like, how, what? And then like,
bro, let him recover in peace,
yes,
man.
and then literally like the day it happened, she was filming TikToks. The day it happened in the hospital, she's like, "Oh,
Michael, you fell down the stairs."
No, literally. She's like, "Oh my god, where's my phone?" And then she filmed one literally the day of when they were in the hospital, and she's like, "Sorry guys, I just had to like step outside the room real quick. Like his dad is in there with him, so I just wanted to step out and update you guys." And I'm like, "Girl, your son has a broken nose in there, and you had to step out so you could come update your TikTok follower. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. But yeah, and then like every day after that, she was making update videos like every single day, like day 1 after surgery, day 2 after, or whatever the accident. And it's all like her pointing the camera on her son's face, showing his progress. And, oh, he's super swollen today and he won't stop bleeding. He's like actively bleeding. And she's like, yeah, like, girl, what? Anyway, it's like, it's laughable because it's so insane that anyone thinks this is okay and normal. But also then like you think about the poor kid who's actually like the subject of this content. You're like, oh, that's actually not funny. But it's crazy. There are crazy people out there. And then what makes it even better is she'll have these vlogs where, you know, something supposedly horrible happened to her family. And it starts out with an ad, you know, a sponsorship. She's like, thank you so much to Lumi Deodorant for sponsoring today's video. And everyone in the comments is like, why do you have a sponsorship for deodorant when you're talking about your son's nose surgery? Like, anyway, yeah, that's the rabbit hole I've been down lately. There are so many crazy people on the internet, and I'm like not on that side of the internet because I don't scroll on TikTok, and I watch my few creators on YouTube that aren't like that, and like I don't really branch out much from there. So most of these people I didn't even know existed on the internet, but they're crazy. They're so crazy.
I really don't find it hard to believe that there's people like that. Like you just think of
anything that'll get you views.
But yeah, they're chasing the bag. They'll sell out their family to chase the bag, sell out their own privacy.
It's so sad. Yeah, they're like the specific person I've been binging lately. Her name is Kiki Chanel, and
I've heard of that before.
You've heard that name?
Yeah.
She's pretty big. She has like 700
Oh, I'm thinking of Coco Chanel.
Oh,
that's different. I don't know what that is.
Wait, yeah. What is? I do know what that is.
Is that a person? Is that a perfume?
No.
Chanel number 5.
No, that's not that though. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, she posts a bunch of videos about this stuff, and she calls like.
Oh, Kiki Chanel's the critiquer.
Yes, she's the commentator.
Okay.
And yeah, her whole like she basically has a series at this point where she talks about all these crazy parents because there's so many of them that she just always finds more to talk about. And she calls it anything for views parenting because that's literally what it is. Mm-hmm. It's pretty rough.
Anything for views parenting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've definitely been interested in a lot of those documentaries and YouTube documentaries of just like parents that did that. Ruby Frankie.
Yeah, that's how it started. And then I just started going down a rabbit hole. But Ruby Frankie, that documentary was how we were like, not that I didn't know people were exploiting their children online before that, but that was like our first intro. Taste of like, oh, this gets real bad sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yep. Well, next video is going to be Suki's surgery progress updates. She has to get a nose job.
A clickbait thumbnail of us crying like, our baby had to go into surgery. The results were terrifying.
She's just like getting her nails trimmed.
Yeah. Why didn't we capitalize on that when she got her surgery for her tooth? She had to get a tooth extracted. Oh, we need to make a video about that.
Yeah.
And show her like bloody mouth in the thumbnail.
I forgot that there's nothing more important than money and
I know. That's what's so like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's so bad, but you can't look away. It's like, it's almost like it. I feel like one of the reasons it's so entertaining to like watch videos about these people is because I can't even comprehend ever thinking like that. Like, it's like fascinating that people think like that.
It's definitely a byproduct of being in that social media pipeline for too long. Like not just a pipeline, like that chronically online culture.
Yeah.
Like their whole lives, they're basically a cyborg. Their real life is inseparable from their digital life at that point,
that's
which is sad. I'm very grateful to. I don't know if it's probably by chance, it's just by upbringing. Like we didn't turn out like that.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Or did you?
Oh, no, I didn't. What do you mean?
I'm just messing.
Yeah, you better be messing.
It
is interesting. I think it's a mix of upbringing and like self-awareness. Like there have been times where I'll spend a lot of time on social media for a week, a month, however long, and I'm like aware that it's making me feel bad. I'm like, maybe I should cut down on this. You know, like those people just don't have that self-awareness and can't set that boundary, I guess.
Yeah. And then compound that with, wow, actually making all these posts is making me money.
Yeah.
Then you're screwed.
Yeah.
You're screwed.
Then you're really screwed. That was the thing. The Kiki Chanel, the commentator girl, she was like, this is a woman who tried to do the influencer thing and failed, but then realized that her children could get her that. So now she's using them. So it was like she tried to make content about herself, but nobody cared, nobody watched, and it didn't take off. And so now she shifted to her kids because she did it at some point by some random chance. It got a ton of views, and she was like, oh, this works. And now that's what she does. That's her entire thing. It's like without her kids, she would have no content. Crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of the parenting content.
Yeah.
Which is a whole other can of worms to talk about the morality of
Oh my gosh.
being
Yeah.
a family vlogger.
It's crazy because like the more that I watch these videos, which, you know, I guess that's the whole point of an oh my gosh, I can't speak English, of an echo chamber, the more like angry I get about it and the more radicalized I become. But also I think this is a great thing to be radical in, because why are you exploiting your children? But yeah. No, it's fine, whatever.
To your point, I don't think that I can see like a reverse radical. No, you know what? Just forget it.
What, of exploiting your kids?
Yeah, like you're
like,
radicalized one way. I don't know.
There's no reverse.
I don't know if there's many people on the other end of the spectrum.
Like, you literally,
yes, you need a family vlog.
You can't prove through like science and facts and anecdotes. There's no proof that it's good. You can't be
family
radicalized.
It's really good for those families.
No, literally, no. They have
Just
a great time.
check out all the documentaries on Hulu about how
they're all so positive.
how all these family vloggers just have the best lives.
Yeah, I mean they do for a time, right? Because they're bringing in the money, but then I don't know. That money does something to you, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like you're a performance-based, like strictly performance-based income.
Yeah.
Like no stable money unless your videos pop off.
Yeah,
So
which
then
would be stressful.
You have to keep raising and raising the bar to meet the wants of your subscribers and to keep the growth, which is impossible to sustain forever. To like keep.
Yeah.
You know, you can't keep exponentially growing your user base. There's not enough people in the world.
Yeah, but you can for a while.
Linearly, I guess. Anyway. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's wrap it.
Yeah, that was all. It was just crazy.
That last 15 minutes was just like totally curveball.
Well, I mean, it had to do with health.
Like barely.
I just needed to share this with you because there's just crazy people out there and someone's got to talk about it.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you need to be aware of these things so that you don't turn out like.
Yeah,
we need to be educated so that we don't turn out the same way.
That's right.
I'm honestly so grateful we are not millennial parents. Because, I mean, not to generalize, but like all these people who are doing this, they are millennials because that's just like the age of new parents right now.
Yeah.
It's just a fact. And
it's going to be us very soon.
I know.
Gen
but
Z.
like they're kind of the guinea pigs in this world of technology. And so.
Parenting with technology, you mean?
Parenting with technology.
In the world of the internet.
Yeah. So they're kind of figuring it out first for everyone else in the future. But I think at this point, I feel like there's enough evidence out there and enough people talking about it to prove that it's like not good, but there's still parents who are choosing to do it. So then that's when it's like, what is wrong with you? You know?
I think our generation's going to be worse overall parenting because I think
overall?
Yeah. I think you and I are going to be great because we're aware of this stuff. I think the average person or people around our age are not going to be.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I don't know. I think that Gen Z is lucky that millennials are the guinea pigs, though, because I think a lot of Gen Z is seeing this and the effects on their children and hopefully won't do the same. But it also is like, do they have the patience to deal with their kid when they're misbehaving instead of just shoving an iPad in their face?
Do we have the patience to not raise iPad babies?
Yeah,
that's the question.
Honestly, do you? All right. Well, that's all I had to say about that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, this has been Life Lately.
Did you take a single sip of your drink that whole time?
It's gone.
Whoa. When did you do that?
While you were yapping for the last 30 minutes.
You yapped way before me. You were yapping for most of this episode. I just yapped for the end of it.
I love when you yap.
Anyway.
All right, guys. We'll catch you later.
Bye.